Sharp, bright, fast, contrasty, colorful, real, genuine. That's at least what I hope they're saying. Okay, well, that's what I like to say.
I want to add another word.
Okay.
And that is energy.
You need that fast-paced energy, but then you also have to slow it down with some, you know, with show a person in their element, show some fear maybe, show whatever it is. You know, there is some storytelling that you also have to show. That's important to show. I think the challenge there when you're shooting for someone else is to make sure you're still communicating your image and your voice through your images, because that's why they hired you in the first place. Photography is always going to be really important. Okay. It's pretty rare that I have an assignment where the photography is quite secondary. For all this outdoor world stuff that I do, the photography is always very forward.
Is that one of the reasons you like it?
Oh, absolutely. You know, sometimes you get the cover or you get, you know, 6 or 8 pages. There's a massive amount of gratification that comes from seeing your work go from the planning stage to the shooting stage to the editing all the way into print, and to see it laid out is a really, really amazing thing. And I still get off on that.
Liam, what do you call yourself? Are you a photographer? Are you an image maker? What are you?
I am an outdoor and adventure photographer. That's what I do.
Is that what you've always been? I mean, professionally, or what's the story?
No, not professionally. I started a long time ago. You know, growing up, I always had the magazines. Like we had National Geographic on the coffee table at all times, Ski Magazine. So looking through those magazines, I always wondered how people did this. How can you just be a photographer that shoots mountains and climbing and skiing and all this different stuff?
Did you start taking photos apart from the outdoor side, or did this kind of really propel you into the whole idea?
It really started on my very first Knowles trip, and this is back in 1992. My father bought me a little Canon Rebel, a little kit lens, 20 rolls of film. I go out into the field and I start shooting photos, and I'm trying to emulate what I had seen in some of the magazines. And I'm shooting and shooting and shooting and having a great time, and we're up on Mount Lemmon, and my camera and everything is in my backpack. We're done climbing for the day. We all throw our backpacks on top of the van. We get down to our campsite at the bottom of Mount Lemmon. We go to grab all the backpacks off. Mine's gone. The camera, all the rolls of film, everything I shot over a 2-month period was gone.
All right, we're going to pause there. That's a moment to pause, even apart from this project. So you're back from your trip, your pack isn't there, camera gone, film gone. Did you look at that as some sort of, oh, I'm not supposed to do it? Or did you say, I'm going to go back at this?
No, I think it really did set me back quite a bit, actually. So that was 1992. I lost all that. It was never seen again. And I really didn't pick up a camera again until I moved to Breckenridge in 97. Well, I just had a little pocket camera with me, right? And I carried it with me for all my adventures. And I was doing a lot of skiing, a lot of mountain biking, a lot of backpacking, fly fishing, all that stuff. And I just always had this little point and shoot camera with me. And after a while, the pictures were getting a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better.
When you say they were getting better, what was getting better?
Composition, action, capturing the action at its height, all those sorts of things. Exposure as well. I mean, at this point, it's still just a point and shoot.
Right.
As I got a little bit better, I bought my first film camera, a Minolta Maxim 5, because it was very, very small, very, very light, and I brought that with me. And then from there, it just snowballed. You know, it was just me taking a lot of bad photos and learning as I went. I would write down at the end of the day. I knew what exposures I was setting. You know, I was starting to get pretty good, so I took some of those slide films, packaged them up, sent them off to a magazine, and not a single one was ever accepted. That was a big smack in the face. And I got a letter back from an editor who's now a friend of mine, so we laugh about this. But the letter says, "Dear Mr. Duran, thank you for your contribution to the magazine. We appreciate your attempt at photography.
Your attempt.
Until you learn how to compose, expose, shoot action sports, you don't need to resubmit." Oh, wow, I'm really bad. So that was the point where I had to sink or swim. It's like, well, should I just get a normal job, or am I going to keep working at this and figure it out? Fast forward 10 years from when I get that letter, and the editor of that magazine, Powder Magazine, calls me up on stage in front of about 3,000 of our peers and hands me the Photo of the Year award. Best photo of that year.
The same person.
Same person. So I went from, I mean, that's 10 years. That's a long time.
It is.
But from absolute dejection, failure, to, at least for that night, certainly not the best photographer out there, but for that night, hit the absolute peak of my world. I'm a slow learner. It took me a long time to figure it out, if you will, but I never gave up, and I just had an immense passion for doing what I did. I wanted to be a ski photographer. Can't remember exactly, it was either 03 or 04. I got my first digital camera. I got my first cover shot that year. Like that quickly, it brought my skill level just shot up when I got the digital, because the feedback is instant. 2017 or 18, I finally moved into the mirrorless realm. So now the technology it just stays out of the way for me.
Would you say it opens up more opportunities because the range, the ability to deliver an image is greater now? I know you do work with Sigma, and they've pioneered a lot of what we're talking about here, but what does it do for you as far as creatively?
The Sony A1 with the Sigma lenses, like, they instantly pick up the subject and they track that subject through the entire turn. So it allows me to go back and just pick the right frame. Where the skier, the biker, whatever is going on, the trail runner is in the exact right position.
You're artisan and you're a scientist.
Right.
You're both.
Yeah. What I'm better at is being outside, getting athletes in the right place at the right time.
I want to talk about the athletes because you is one, right?
Yeah, I have to be.
You have to be.
Yeah. I won't go into too much detail here, but I've heard of plenty of stories where a creative agency calls in a group out of LA. They can't get around the mountain. So they're very limited in what they can do versus someone like myself that is a skier, a mountain biker, a backpacker, trail runner.
Right.
I can be out there and be comfortable, safe. I'm an active member of the team, a participant.
Okay.
I work with some very, very incredible professional athletes.
That have lived long enough to get good at.
Exactly. Yeah, they've made it around the block a few times, and so have I. So we keep an eye on each other. Sven, could you please keep a close eye on me right here? And he's like, yep, I got you. I am all eyes on you right now. Everyone's safe, and we move on to the next spot. As we're hiking up, myself and my athletes are usually looking, oh, there's a shot over there. What if I put the 7200 on? I could pull those mountains in from behind while you're on the ridge. Okay, log that one in. A lot of times we go back to places that we've been before, and we say, hey, remember that right footer we got up high on Coalbank? Let's do that. Let's get up at 5 in the morning, hike up before sunrise, and let's catch that same shot with sunrise light. Sometimes you just have to figure it out on the fly.
Okay.
But those can be tricky, but those also kind of separate the wheat from the chaff a little bit. If you can show up in an area that has bad light, bad snow, an athlete you've never worked with, and still come away with some good shots, now that's really impressive and can be challenging to do. You have to be able to make do with what you're given. You can't whine about it. You can't complain about it. You just forge ahead and figure it out. You will never see me drop in a fake sunset into a shot. I'm not saying I do 0 to an image. I shoot in RAW. So right out of the gates, you have to do some processing.
Right.
But my post-processing is quite light-handed. I do a little bit of exposure, a little contrast. I will straighten the horizon. in post. I mean, I try to do it as best I can in camera, but there are times when you get it off a little bit and all the trees are just a little off. But I won't add or subtract major elements that fundamentally change the situation or the image that I took. I think the natural world is beautiful enough that I don't need to fake it. I want to show what it was like. I am a little bit more of a documentarian than an artist. And, your friends are like, oh, look, the artist is here. I'm like, I don't really see myself too much as an artist. I do see myself more as a documentarian and a storyteller. And an editor picked up my portfolio and he was like, great powder shot, nice, cliff hucking shot, nice mountain bike photo. He's like, hey, these are really great. And I can tell that you know how to shoot action, but where's the story? What was it like in the morning? Where did you go for coffee? Did you guys go to après ski afterward? What was the hotel like? How about the drive? What was it like? And I was like, oh, and it just completely opened my eyes. And he ended up giving me a job. He said, look, if you can master these storytelling images, I'm going to put you on the road and I'm going to give you access to all these different ski areas. Tell me a story. Every assignment is a little bit different. You never quite know what it's going to be, but in general, I am in good communication with either the writer or the editor or the photo editor to make sure that we're on the right track.
Let me try summarizing what this is about. You have to commit to a direction and learning. You have to put a timetable in place. You have to develop your artistic skill as well as the technology. You have to build relationship skills. And then you have to take your chances with your approach to image making. How am I doing so far?
I think that sounds pretty spot on, Peter. That's kind of what it takes. Now, that's what I've kind of given you today. I think every creator has their own path.
Okay.
But there are certainly plenty of people that have gone down that very same path and used that as a direction for success.
How long does it take?
It's a little bit different for everybody. Okay. It took me a long time. I was not one of those guys that jumped into the scene and 2 years later was the hot dog photographer. Well, I never shot hot dogs, but the rock star photographer. And
but they've got to give a run, right? They've got to take a shot at this and get good enough to know whether they're good enough.
Right. I can tell you this much, it's probably not going to happen over one summer that you take off and live in your van and spend one summer doing it. It's probably going to take a little longer than
It's a nice van, though.
I'm sure it is.
And it's a good camera, but there's a little more to it.
Yeah.
What images flash in your head? We talk about the ones that really brought home some soul.
Two that I can think of off the top of my head. One was, it's a very simple image, actually. It's a picture of a gentleman, and we were at a ski hut, a backcountry ski hut. We had finished skiing for the day, and I was like out messing around with some gear, and I look over and I see him, and he's leaning over the rail of the ski hut, and behind him are all these ski tracks. And
his ski tracks?
All of our ski tracks, his included. And he's just looking up at the mountain with all the ski tracks. And I zoomed in as tight as I could. I put the person in silhouette. So he's just an outline. But you see the ski tracks, he's drinking a beer. It's a very simple black and white image, but it really conveys a lot, especially to a backcountry skier. You see that, and you're like, oh, that looks great. I want to be that person. I want to be enjoying my turns from the deck, having a cold beer after a hard day in the mountains. So that's one that really hits home for me. And then there's another one that we got recently, and we were in Norway. And a friend of mine just wanted to, we were kind of done shooting, and he skis off to the edge, like pretty far away from me. I put on the 100-400 lens, and as he's just standing there, the ocean is behind him. The sun is setting. The light is just unimaginable, like the most perfect orange you could ever imagine. And I just took one shot, click, and it was awesome. And it just tells the story, the light, the location, the person. One simple photo kind of lays it all out there. And that image ended up being a 2-page spread opener for a photo essay that I did for Backcountry magazine.
Is it fair to say that reality beats contrived?
Oh, for sure. Yes, 100%.
And you stake your career on that, don't you?
That's what I do. I don't do the super glossy, ultra faked, marketing campaign photos. People come to me for real, genuine, authentic, editorial style photography.
I think your ability to connect with people. I'm also going to say one of the factors is you are an athlete. You is one. You are the people that you're trying to reach.
Yep.
And you know what fires them up, what gets them thinking, what takes them places they want to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And those are magical moments to catch when you do get that perfect balance between humanity and the natural world.
Is there room for a lot more adventure in this world, or has everything worth doing been done, and has everybody that's going to do it done it?
There's absolutely room in this world for more adventure because everyone has their own take on a certain place, a certain subject, a certain whatever it may be. It's not all done. Don't let the haters tell you that it is, because it's not. It might be harder to find a unique angle nowadays, but they're out there. There's more stories to tell.
Now that was a good ending. Did you like that ending?
I do like that. There's more stories to tell. The story isn't over. It's not been written.
Because you see so much of what's... All right, I'm going to play that back. Awe is a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
May it always be a good thing.
For sure.
Thanks, boss.
Thank you, Peter. Nice. I think the other ending might have been a little stronger, but I still think we got it pretty good there.